This man named Will. He is a retired United States Army soldier. That morning, he was seen calling the state insurance office to take care of his wife's cancer surgery costs. But the insurance refused to help for no apparent reason. They just said the type of illness his wife was suffering from was not included in the list of insurance coverage. Hearing that, he'd be very disappointed. Many years he served in the army, risking their lives to defend their country. Now he feels abandoned. So that the wife does not worry, he is forced to lie if his insurance application is approved. He then went to the house of his brother named Danny. Different from Will of a soldier, Danny is a wanted bank robber in Los Angeles. Their father was both a robber, so from childhood Danny was taught how to rob, while Will prefers to live a normal life serving the country. After telling his condition, Will begs Danny to lend him the money, but even though brother, he just didn't want to help. He offers a deal. He will help pay for Will's wife's treatment until she is fully recovered, provided that his brother also wants to help rob with his gang, because it has been months here and they're looking for a loan but to no avail. Will, who had no other choice, finally couldn't help but agree. On the other side there is a female ambulance officer named Cam, and his partner was on his way to the scene of the car accident. Arriving at the crime scene, quickly Cam immediately helped children victims of traffic accidents whose condition was quite severe. Her body is impregnated with iron and cannot be removed carelessly. The officer had to cut the iron from behind, while Cam tries to calm the child. The rescue process went smoothly. The child survived and was taken to the hospital. At lunch, Cam's colleague told her that he had received news that the condition of the child they had helped had started to improve. But Cam's expression doesn't seem to care. For her, helping people is just a job. Her partner was confused. How can a heartless woman like Cam want to be an ambulance officer who has to help dozens of people every day? At the bank, Danny and a gang of robbers are carrying out their action. Finished turning off the building's CCTV, they rushed in and in a matter of minutes the entire building was taken over. Not long after that, a policeman named Zach came. To avoid suspicion, Danny pretended to be a bank manager, then said that today the bank is closed. But Zach kept insisting that he wanted to go in to meet his girlfriend who worked as a bank clerk there. He finally had to let him in. When he was about to chat with his girlfriend, from behind Danny pointed a gun. He told Zach to wave at his fellow cop named Mark, who was waiting outside as a signal that conditions inside the bank were okay. From outside, when he saw Zach's suspicious movements, as a policeman, immediately Mark realized that his partner was in danger. To deal with the armed robbers, SWAT team deployed. All of Danny's men are dead. Now only Danny and Will were left. They try to escape through the basement while taking Zach as a hostage. In the middle of the road, Zach tries to fight back by attacking Danny. Will panicked and shot Zach, so badly injured. He was very sorry and he then helped him, because things are getting worse. Danny tells Will to leave Zach and rush away from there. On the other hand, Mark and the Los Angeles cops enter the bank building to look for Zach's whereabouts. In the basement, when he found out his best friend was seriously injured, Mark shouted for help. When Cam just arrived at the crime scene, she heard a scream from Mark. Without permission from the police, Cam immediately barged inside. After loading Zach into the ambulance, Cam kept trying hard to wake him up. Elsewhere, Will and Danny are still looking for a way to escape the police. Until the ambulance came. Danny immediately confronted and then hijacked the ambulance. They attacked Cam's partner, then took him out of the car. Just in case, they then took Cam hostage. At the exit, it turned out that there were a lot of police blocking, but they managed to escape without being suspected. When Mark wanted to get out of the basement, he finds the injured Cam comrade. He then informed him that his ambulance had been hijacked. Just heard the news. Mark reports to headquarters. When leaving the building, a SWAT team leader named Monroe arrives. He tries to calm Mark down and promises that before sunset his team will definitely save Zach. He deployed a police helicopter to chase the ambulance. Meanwhile, in the ambulance, when Cam see a fire extinguisher, she got an idea. When Will and Danny are off guard, she sprayed them then ran out. Unfortunately, the plan failed. In the midst of that tension, Zach suddenly convulsed. Will then begs Cam to go back inside to help Zach. After a long wait for news, the police helicopter finally reports the location of the ambulance that was hijacked by Danny has been found. Monroe orders his team, including Mark, to chase the ambulance, and asks the head office to increase the helicopter fleet so as not to lose track. In the ambulance, Zach's condition seems to be getting worse. Cam and Danny help each other put on medical equipment while Will continues to drive away from the police. Luckily, after various attempts were made, Zach was saved. Danny then called one of his friends named Poppy. He asked Poppy to immediately prepare 5 ambulances to outwit the police for $8 million. Because Poppy is also a former robber, he understands how Danny is now. Without asking much, he agreed to help. They then made an appointment to meet under the city bridge. Danny then called the rest of his men in order to bring car paint under the city bridge. Meanwhile, Monroe asked headquarters to connect the walkie-talkie. With the walkie-talkie in the ambulance, he tells Danny to give up, saying that his escape attempt was in vain. Sooner or later he would be caught. Out of anger, Danny shouts saying that he is America's greatest robber. A small problem like this couldn't make him give up. When the situation calms down, Cam saw blood dripping from Zach's body. He tells Danny that Zach's condition is dying and he needs surgery immediately to remove the bullet from his body. Because she's just an ambulance attendant, the three of them were forced to contact the hospital doctor and asked to be directed how to do the surgery step by step. Will then ask Danny to replace him driving while he would help Cam to perform the operation. The doctor directs Cam to slowly remove the bullet from the spleen. But the process of removing the bullet can only be done for 60 seconds. If more than 60 minutes, then Zach's spleen will burst.
Doctors, he's got 60 seconds. Now he's gonna bleed out. I used all the... Listen, you know what we do? We breathe, okay?
Zach eventually survives even though his spleen is ruptured. Before Monroe joins the other cops to chase Danny, an FBI officer named Clark approached him. He wanted to join the chase, because he knows a lot of information about Danny. Felt the information would be useful. He then lets Clark in. In the car, Clark informed based on criminal record, Danny is not just an ordinary robber, but he's also a dangerous criminal the FBI has been chasing for a long time. To catch Danny need a special technique. Clark suggests once every half hour, Monroe has to change his vehicle so Danny doesn't know where he is. When he want to change cars, he got word from the hospital doctor who Cam called earlier. The doctor tells how happened in the ambulance. Because Zach's spleen ruptured and the video connection was cut off. The doctor thought Cam operation failed. Heard about that. He was in shock and with a heavy heart he declared Zach dead. Now the hostage in the ambulance only Cam. So Monroe ordered all his men not to hold back anymore. They were all allowed to execute Danny on the spot. Clark, who was worried, called Cam and told her to duck down to avoid sniper fire. Lucky few seconds before sniper shoots. Cam still had time to tell Danny. He then immediately swerved to avoid the shot. With anger, Danny fired his gun several times, threatening Monroe if he did anything else. Then he will not hesitate to kill Cam. The chase continues. In the ambulance when things calm down, looks like Zach is starting to bleed. When he finds out his blood type is the same as Will, he then agreed to donate blood. At that moment, Cam was seeing a good-hearted criminal for the first time. Will told her that he was forced to rob to pay for his wife's cancer surgery. If from the beginning the government dispersed the insurance money that was their right, Will never want to commit a crime like this. Hours passed, they were still trying to run away from the police. Because soon Will arrive at the location of the agreement. Danny told Will to step on the gas faster to get some distance from the police car behind. After quite a distance, they finally arrived. There Danny's men painted the ambulance as fast as they could, then checked the ambulance brought by Poppy's men. Because he thought Danny was in a corner, Monroe ordered all the police to storm together. In that raid, Monroe was shot dead. Danny's plan was a success. Meanwhile, Mark, who saw Poppy's son, ran away. He immediately gave chase and managed to catch him, but the consequences continue to fight. He had to be shot on the spot. Watched the news of his son's death on TV. Poppy can only cry. Sometime later, they arrived at Poppy's headquarters. Before entering, Will tells Cam not to get out of the car no matter what. After Will left, Zach wakes up. He then told Cam to take the gun in his shoe just in case. Danny then pays Poppy the money and expresses his condolences for the death of his son. But Poppy did not accept. He felt that $8 million was not worth the life of his beloved son. For him, life must be paid with life. His son has been killed by the police. So instead, he's gonna kill Zach and Cam. There was a debate between them. As a soldier who has always defended the country, Will can't let innocent people be victims. Even though Danny had warned him to obey and not to get into trouble with Poppy, he still refused. Out of anger, Poppy then orders his men to kill Will.
Go left.
They both finally got away. In the midst of chaos, when Will opens the ambulance door, Cam, who was scared, instantly reflexively shot Will. Saw his brother get shot. Danny panicked and hit the gas as fast as he could to the hospital. There, Danny doesn't know that Cam shot his brother. He thought Will was shot by Poppy's men. On the road while Cam was trying to stop Will's bleeding, he then gives the loot to Cam. He ordered Cam to deliver the money to his wife. Behind, the police again chased them, until arriving at the hospital when the ambulance stopped. The police flocked to surround him, while moving backwards to check Will's condition. Danny is shocked. Why is there a gun? He believes this gun must be Zach's and thinks he must have shot his brother. When Danny wanted to shoot Zach, Cam held back while explaining that she was the shooter. She apologized because the situation at Poppy's headquarters earlier was very scary. She spontaneously shoots. Just heard the explanation. Danny is very angry. Now his position was cornered by the police siege and had no way to escape anymore. So he planned to have Cam die with him. He knew if he got out of this ambulance he would be shot dead by a sniper. That's why he's going to shoot the cam head in front of everyone and get all over the TV media as a sign that he's America's greatest criminal. Committed dozens of crimes. It was the first time he had lost to the police. Danny had completely lost his mind. He slowly opened the ambulance door and started the countdown. But when he wanted to shoot the head of the cam, suddenly, to stop all his brother's crimes, the little brother who aspires to be a defender of the truth must kill his beloved brother. From a distance, Will's wife came. She screamed hysterically, calling her husband's name. Heard the scream, Kim stood up and said her job as an ambulance attendant wasn't done yet. Essie then asked Mark to help bring Will to the hospital. At first they refused. He doesn't want to help criminals. But when Cam told him that Will saved Zach's life, Mark finally helped. After taking Will to the hospital, Cam's task is now completely finished. Essie then went to Will's wife and quietly put money from Will into her bag. Cam then went to visit the child she had saved this morning. Essie held the child's hand tightly and comforted her. Today's events taught Cam a lot of lessons. Now she understands. Helping people is not just a job requirement, but helping people is a human demand. In Zach's room, when Mark asked him to testify, Zach pointed to Will's photo and said, "He has saved my life."